Hello everybody, this is just Roblox back in another video. And this video is going to be called WarCommand on Roblox tutorial. Basically, I'm going to give you guys a tutorial of how to play this game so you're not absolutely terrible at it. And I'm going to explain what everything means. So I just spawned in. You want to click on your sort of HQ and make a builder. You can see up here is a trophy. That's how many games you've won. You can see I won 7. Last game, which was last video. By the way, I made 2 videos on this game. You'll be able to find the other video on my channel. I was up against someone else who had 7 trophies, and he forfeit because he knew that he was running out of resources. I had taken over essentially 80% of the map last game, and he had a pretty large air force, but he knew that if he attacked, my air defenses would defeat him, and in the end he would lose. So as you can see, I didn't build a lot of builders. You'll notice that this guy over here didn't build a lot of builders either, but this guy built too many builders. The warning I had last video, and this video is more of a tutorial that teaches you guys how to play, is do not build a lot of builders right at the beginning of the game. In the beginning of the game, whoever has a military first has an early advantage. You can see I'm not even really going after any sort of natural resources or anything. Because I'm on a different map. I'm in a free-for-all game right now, where everybody is independent. And you can see this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. And I sort of have a strategy for what I'm going to do. So you always want to, in this sort of game, build just your 2 power plants, and then start building a military of some sort. Because in this game, whoever has soldiers who can kill all the enemy team builders and take over their resources is going to win. So early game, you just want to have 1 builder, and you want to take over these 2 resource deposits on this map. Other maps will have different early game strategies you have to deploy, but for the most part, this strategy is what I will do every single game, no matter what map I'm on. I'll build 1 builder, build these 2, and build a barracks. But you can see, even though I don't have a lot of money, I now have the largest existing military, which is what you want to do. So you can see he's out there building probably defenses, but it's taken him a long time, so I'll go stop him. You can see I already have 2 barracks, which are capable of generating 2 soldiers each time. So now, once we attack this guy, he'll lose this advantage of where he owns this defense. He built a turret, which was smart, but it's too late. I have too much production. As you can see, my money's 230, but even though it's incredibly low, I'm still capable of building more military and taking over his resources. That turret really doesn't want to lose. Let's build 1 more barracks. And then the next thing I'm going to do, even though it doesn't seem reasonable or logical, is I'm going to start building generators. In this game, when you build generators, you also build money, because the generators themselves, right here, generator 220, makes money. Okay, so he's trying to build like a bunch of turrets. That's like not acceptable. And that will start to cause a serious problem. Luckily, I built another barracks so I can send bigger military faster. I'm also going to make a more expensive military unit. And now, he's starting to lose this battle right here. We're about to take out the turret. Thankfully. You can see that the other guy who built too many builders early game has really had the advantage of not being attacked. And he's using his limited resources to build irritant barriers, which are like barriers just to slow down your military from winning in the end. This guy, I don't think has built a barracks. He's starting to build barracks, but it's too late. He's going to try and repair that, but it's also too late because now my soldiers are getting more powerful. And I really have to make a serious decision. Continue. Oh, he has a builder. Continue to fight him or build energy generators of some sort. Oh, I won, thankfully. So now it's time to build a generator. Boom. So now you can see I will slowly but surely become more wealthy. And you saw what I did. This is this YouTube video that I'm making right now. It's called WarCommand Roblox tutorial. And you'd see I started out by making one builder, getting as much basic income as I could, and I built a military. This resulted in me taking over pretty much all of the world's natural resources. I'm going to go destroy this and take it over. I'm going to leave soldiers' places to protect it. You could see, I think he might have sent. No, he's just watching. That's all he's doing. That's good. That's what we want him to do, is just watch and not actually respond. I'm going to continue to make resources. I'm going to make cheap soldiers, and I'm going to go anti-air defenses, because I just know one of them is going to attempt helicopters. You'd see he went for tanks. He's making tanks, which is a good response to what I'm doing. And it's a little bit too good of a response. So now I'm going to send the only builders I have out in an attempt to stop his tank advance and build defenses. This builder is going to put a turret right here, and this builder is going to make it out there and build a turret. He hasn't moved his jeeps or tanks up, but it's already sort of too late for him. So now I got lots of money, so I'm going to go for an Air Force building, just one of them. And I'm going to go for a ground force, like tanks and stuff, building next. This builder is about to be done building that. And what you'll notice is I never have my builders all build one project. I have them do many different projects. That way I can do lots of projects at the same time. As you can see, the enemy team often might have all their builders just building one thing. Okay, so now we got an Air Force building. I'm going to build a helicopter. Next, I'm going to sort of continue the defensive. The other red team dude concerns me. He is building a fairly large military, and that's very unpleasant. You can see this guy's tanks are going to attack, but I think we're going to win. These builders are doing that. I don't really care that they're doing that. Now I have an Air Force, so I can, no, stupid helicopter, go out there and save that guy. Anyhow, NPC malfunction. And now I have a ground force, and now I'm going to have the builders just build defenses like everywhere they possibly can to prepare for the enemy invasion. My helicopter's slowly killing his tanks. That's what it needs to do. Gonna put... How much does an air turret cost? Holy cow, a lot of money. Never mind, I'm gonna build a generator, so I can have more money. He doesn't have any helicopters, and so the stalemate continues as the battle pushes on. You can see that the first thing that I did in the very beginning is still putting me in the lead. The only concern is that guy over there is building a very large military, but it's not going to last. Once again, I'm going to split up my builders and have my builders all do different projects to accelerate the probability of survival. And so, in this tutorial, you guys are going to learn how to play this game, survive, and win. You'd see I'm going to go ahead and start putting air defenses in my base. And when there's enough money, I'm going to build another money generator. You can see that I've officially basically taken over all this guy's resources. You always want to put air turrets in to protect. You can see he's now moving into the Air Force now that he sees what I've been doing, but it's too late. I'm starting to put anti-air defenses in and ground defenses in, which are sort of the irritants. You always want to have irritants for every ground defense. You want to have an anti-air defense. and the enemy team is behind now, and I'm in the lead, and I'm going to focus all on making more and more money, because as you can see, this guy who has had the benefit of us fighting has built a fairly sophisticated ground force, and he's even built a research facility, and that gives him an advantage because he can make the best type of helicopter, and that's exactly what we don't want somebody to do, is make more sophisticated technology that is going to lead to our defeat in the end. So I'm putting some sort of irritant or deterrent structures in, and putting more anti-air and ground turrets at the resources I took from the other dude. You can see he's spent a large percentage of his money making a large helicopter fleet, but little has he realized that it's already too late, and I am capable of building more things per minute than he is, and I'm building defenses everywhere. And I'll explain how and why. So you can see in the early game, our advantage is we built one builder. I'll explain to you why we only built one builder. Because builders are fairly expensive, so then I had more money to do things like a military, and that quickly swung the balance of control in the game to my advantage. Then he attempted to use technology like tanks to win, but it was too late because there was just too many defenses. And you can see now I'm starting to build sort of the production part where I have 2 air bases. I've got a ground base. I can build an artillery. And now I'm able to do lots of things all at the same time. I probably need another generator if I'm capable. Nope, I've reached max generators. So another airway is what we're going to build. I got some ground defenses here. And you can see he sent something to attack, and he lost because he didn't really know what he was doing. And you'll see how I put these sort of distraction barriers up around bases. And that is literally just as I just said, it's just a distraction. And I'll put a bunch of defenses in here. And you can see even though that dude has a big air force, didn't really help him at all, actually. Because he just couldn't get past the ground defenses. So now, I'm going to spread out and take over all the remaining natural resources and swing the game into my favor. And see, I built a bunch of defensive wall structures here. Now I'll build a bunch of air turrets. And what you guys have learned so far in this tutorial is how to swing the early game. You want to build both your power plants no matter what map you're on, because there's different maps in the game. But you only want to build one builder if you can help it. It's alright if you build 2, but building one builder will help you. Then you want to build a barracks, and you want to watch what your enemies are doing. And as you saw earlier in this tutorial video, this guy, blue team, attempted to charge and take over this, but because I spent more money on military than he did, it was over pretty much right away. And because I chose not to build more than one builder, I won out in the end. And now we're in the part of the game where my financial advantage becomes clear, because I've taken over everything and I've swung the game by repelling the first person who wanted to take over resources. Now I will slowly build defenses on everything and build a giant defensive barrier, and then build the largest military in the server and just slowly kill them one by one. As you can see, I've already done a little bit of this. You can see how many defenses are just right on this one point. Same thing's happening right here. You can see I'm going to build bunches of air and ground turrets, and for every single ground turret you make, you want to build at least one air turret that can protect it. So you'd see this base has a good mix of everything going on. Red team has not advanced, blue team has not advanced. They're focusing all on their military, and what a mistake that is going to be in the end for them. Now I'm going to put up some defensive barriers that can defend every base from almost every angle, and set up some defensive ground troops. And now, in a few minutes, I will win the game from here, unless there's a sudden surprise, which there still very well could be. Blue team's got a pretty big military. The other dude's got a pretty big military. But I don't think that there's going to be any surprises, because my air force is starting to become bigger than blue team's. He's putting up a lot of anti-air defenses. That's a really smart play of him on his part. Let me build some builders right here to build some stuff to help me out. So now everything is defended perfectly, but just to make sure, I'm going to do a little bit of an overkill where I build large sprawling defenses that are incredibly irritating for the enemy team to put up with. And that's how I'm preparing for that guy's attack, because I feel like what both of them are going to do is they're going to attempt to take over these little bases I built first, and so by putting up a tremendous amount of defenses that pretty much makes that impossible for the enemy team, I really give myself an early advantage. So no team is moved. Nobody's moving, nobody's doing anything. And that's because this is a very well matched up game, just like the last game I played. And they know what to do, they know what militaries to make. And I'm going to probably attack the weakest one of them soon. I don't really want to fight more than one war at one time. This guy's got lots of air defenses. I want to put him in shock by attacking him, even if it's a waste of my military. And I'm going to leave helicopters sort of stationed at these bases. These dudes did a great job of making a very sophisticated thing. I'm going to have these builders retreat because they don't really need to be there now. They can help bring an end to what is going to be the next biggest conflict, which is science. So you always in this game want to build the lab. You can build the lab early on, or you can build it late game. It doesn't really matter when, and it's important for you to build it when it's most strategically important to you. You can see I sort of shocked that guy. Got lots of defenses up here and builders who can keep building defenses. I'm going to actually build. Oh, here he comes. He's going to get stuck, though. He is going to get stuck. Because I built a lot of defenses. Those defenses are going to fend him off. I want to build like air turrets just everywhere. Send in a distraction air fleet here. Build some air turrets. And he officially, successfully took over that base, and here he comes. Now he only pretty much has a ground military. And I think that he might actually win this game because of the way he chose to attack and what sort of military he chose to make. I have more money, but I didn't have enough defenses to fight him. As you can see, he's about to probably win this game. You can see how large of a military he has. He came in, he destroyed that, he destroyed this. And here he comes for the winning blow. And I'll go ahead and explain to you exactly what I did wrong and how he won. So we really had the early game. We built one builder so that we could build 2 factories and still have enough money left to build a barracks. Then our soldiers from that barracks took over pretty much all the resources in the world, and they were well defended too, so you could see that these have really good defenses. It really hurt his military to have to pass through this base I had built, but what he chose to do is he chose to really increase his home base defenses and build generators, which is the same thing I sort of did, except for I had some more resources in the sort of foreground of the map. And then he chose to conduct research. Right here's the research facility. So during that time that no one was attacking, he conducted research and he built and researched anti-air trucks. These are anti-air trucks. They shoot down helicopters and stuff. Um, and he, wait, aren't there builders someplace? I don't think so. Me neither. But you can see that he then used his research to research Volt helicopters and anti-air trucks, and that's how he defeated my military in the end, was using science, which is what I just had started doing. I just had started um, building the research academy. I don't think that there's any builders left anywhere. Me neither. Think he killed all my builders. Red team is getting ready for the fight, and now we're just watching them fight to see who will win. I don't know if blue team or red team will win. That's a gun guy. A mistake that I had made that I realized now is, as you can see, I'm still in the game. You can see I'm still in the game because I still have buildings. And because I still have buildings, I'm still in the game. So I should have hid some builders. I should have hid like a builder here, a builder there, and a builder there. And while he was distracted destroying my base, because I still have income, because I still hold resources, I could have potentially still hung in the game and recovered and destroyed his military. Right now we're watching to see who wins, if red team or blue team wins. Because I'm sort of curious now who's going to win. I honestly didn't underestimate, my opponents in this game. I knew that there was a potential that they could strike back, but I had such an early game advantage, both with money and production. And what really won it for blue team here, what really won it for blue team was his choice to conduct research while I wasn't paying attention. Because I wasn't paying attention, I didn't know that he had conducted research. He built a military of, these are artilleries, and these are anti-air trucks, but they're also artillery too, so they can shoot a farther distance. That allowed him to destroy this base that had base defenses, because there were no base defenses that could shoot at artillery, and I needed to set up artillery to protect it. Now you can see he's getting ready, wherever he's at. He's getting ready to attack red team. Red team, in my opinion, is not very well prepared. He's got a lot of his most valuable resources right on his front line, unlike how I had my resources spread across the world. And even in my main base, I had built generators, like in the back of my base, so that they would be protected by the front line. You can see blue team is just deciding how he's going to go about destroying red team. So red team has anti-air and some helicopters, which sort of serve as anti-air because they're in the air, and he has some artillery, but he doesn't have much more, and he built his defenses too organized and easy to destroy. You want your defenses to be confusing and all over the place, so that it's hard for enemies to destroy them. And it looks like, I think, blue team is going to win this and take home the trophy. And he deserves it, definitely, for his choice to use a scientific advantage to destroy ground defenses. He destroyed me, probably his only other competition in domination of the game, fairly quickly once he had things like artillery and voltcopters. Voltcopters are the helicopters you can research in the game. And now you can see he's recovering his natural resources by taking over all the resources. I'm surprised that he hasn't destroyed Red Team already, because Red Team is now building a military that can at least survive the first attack. As if I were Blue Team, I would have attacked Red Team like 2 minutes ago, because they were a lot weaker than they are right now. And there's still, you can see him building stuff over here. He's building ground troops, anti-air, artillery. Blue seems to have become distracted with taking over all of the natural resources that once were in my team's territory. We'll see who wins. I still think Blue Team's going to win because I don't think this guy knows quite what he's doing. He really, even though he has a lot of ground to air, anti-air, like all these trucks and stuff, having more helicopters. Oh, you can stand on top of the helicopter. That's funny. I never noticed that. Is always a good thing. And what this guy's gonna do, what Blue Team's gonna do, is he's gonna have more ground-to-air, anti-air trucks, and he's gonna have more helicopters, and he's probably gonna win. It's weird, I'm still getting money. So I definitely think I would hide a builder next time. Okay, Blue Team's moving his military around, and he's really evaluating Red Team as a threat. I don't think Red Team's gonna win. If Red Team wins, it'd be really surprising. I know it seems weird that in this tutorial I decided to stay in the game and watch to see who wins, but I'm really interested because I didn't not think that Blue Team would win, but just you guys got to remember early in this video how much of an advantage my team had, where I had so much less resources and I defeated Blue Team early game and then built sophisticated defenses and stuff, and in just one go, Blue Team wiped out all those defenses through research. He used research to build voltcopters like these and artillery and anti-air trucks. And that's really what let Blue totally change the game entirely, is my failure to pay attention that he had built a research facility because I was so distracted increasing production. So he built more expensive units that had more health and could shoot farther, that could destroy all the ground defenses. You can see this guy is starting to build more helicopters, which is a good idea. And they're getting ready to verse off. I'm going to go AFK for a second, but I'm going to aim my camera at the whole entire world so you guys can see what happens while I'm gone. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am surprised. They have not even fighted with each other. Oh, wait. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Because some of red team soldiers are gone. What is blue team doing? Why doesn't he just attack him and end it? I guess blue team wants to be fairly sure he's gonna win. As you can see, here is Pierrick 535, and here is Mim. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. I'm just gonna call him M. Here's M, and you can see um, M is red team. Whoa, looks like blue team just left the game and let uh no no red team left the game, letting blue team win. That's weird because there's lots of room for him to recover. This can't be the end of this video, and I decided to name this video playing WarCommand Part 2, and before I end the video I'm going to explain why. The point of this video was to be a tutorial to sort of explain the early game, and I think that it did that pretty well, but there's something that we ran into that was really fascinating is how blue team won, and I want to explore some new glitches that I found that might be able to help you better by making a different video that's a little bit more thorough and add some of the stuff that I realized in this video. So the stuff I realized in this video is, if you remember earlier, we really had a big advantage over blue team. So much so, we were like 10 steps ahead. But his choice to use technology in the late game before we either had defenses against that technology or were prepared to handle that technology led us to lose despite having an overwhelming early advantage that really dominated the game. And the next thing that I realized that I didn't know you could do is in the free-for-all mode, if the other two teams are still active and you still have buildings, you can keep playing. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is how if I would have had builders, I could have rebuilt and fought a little bit longer. So here we go. We're entering in to another game. I'll see you guys in the next video.